Well, and once again, welcome on this Tuesday morning to the Beef and Barnzy Show. I am Barnzy, and once again joined by internet personality and the good looks and talent behind this show, Beef Stew. How are you this morning?
Doing pretty good, yeah. Doing pretty good. I found my league swing last night. Clipped away I had a pretty good league set as well. I shot 755, and the first game I went strike, flagged the head pin, left the 128, almost missed it to the right, got two, changed ball, I think of like a 3 or 4 bagger, stone 8. Decided to throw the ball I used at the start of the spare because I was too impatient for my other ball to come back. Flagged it and
Nice.
out for 232.
Yeah, with the start like that, how did you not know that you're about to shoot a monster set?
10 strike 232. I felt like I was left-handed. Couldn't make a spare. Couldn't leave anything the rest of the time. It was good. So
230. That's what we used to call that.
So where are you on your magical mystery tour? You had a pretty good weekend.
I'm in Wichita. We came up here on Thursday, dropped Linda off with our friends, Marcy and Jerry Williams. They enjoyed the weekend there. We went from there to Liberal, Kansas, which I found out is 3.5 hours west of where I lived for 12 years of my life. To a little 16-lane center in the middle of the country that had Pro-Am lanes and GSX machines. Won't see that a whole lot. Pulling a 43-foot pattern. They were pretty tough. Took plus 42 to make the cut. Frankie led. Maldi was second. They were even tougher the next morning. There was 3 people plus in the cashier's round in the morning. And then they got a little bit better. I made a little run and ended up winning the Liberal Regional. With Frankie second, Maldi third, Kyle Duster was fourth, and AJ Chapman was fifth.
Yeah, anybody who actually wants to see the, I believe it was the position round, I shared it on the Beef and Barnzy Facebook page, so you can watch Chris take the belt to AJ in a pretty good fashion.
He had a what would we call it? An unfortunate game.
Meltdown, I believe, is the term that a couple of people have thrown around. It's one of the ones that you hope is early on in the tournament because it's much cheaper than it is at the end.
Well, yes, but you won't make the cut if you have that one at the beginning. So,
yeah. I guess there is positives. That is a pretty fun story about. I bowled 120 at the Tour Trials one year, the first game of Chameleon. And at the end of the day, I clawed it all back and didn't bowl too bad. And we were sat around having a debate about whether it was better to bowl like one of those games, the first game or the last game. Because if you bowl at the first game, it kind of affects the next 7 games because you're like, oh my God, I bowled 120. But if you bowl at game 8, all you want to do is basically throw yourself in front of a truck. So we had this debate for probably 20 minutes that night. Fast forward to the next day, I'm doing really well on Scorpion. We have a breakdown and, oh no, the pair in front of us, whatever it was. I had a long wait before the last game and then I bowled 120 the last game of that block. So then Andrew Kane comes over to me and goes, so anyway, after last night's debate, now you have more data. Is it better to throw at the first game or the last game?
Neither are good, but you do have 7 games to make up for it if you do it at the beginning. Whereas if you do it at the end, then you have to sleep on it the entire next 16 hours, which I find to be particularly it makes for a very irritable evening. So we did have a good question, I think, in the chat, and maybe there we go. What do you think of Thomas Larsen? Well,
not really.
I think we should bring him up. Yeah, well, I think he was he won the team gold in 2011, the European Championships, and I think he won the doubles and trios in 2012. I think he's a 16-time member of the Danish national team. And he won the gold at the World Championship in trios in Abu Dhabi in 2014. He led the European World Ranking Masters in 2014. And he's a two-time PBA titleist and probably the most slept-on player in the history of the PBA League. But why take my word for it? Let's just bring him on. Thomas Larsen, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Yeah, pretty good. Living our best life. Obviously not as good as Chris. He managed to find a regional that Jacob didn't go to, and it paid twice as much as a normal regional. So it was a win-win for Chris.
It doesn't even make sense, does it?
Just got to pick your spots.
Was it a 50 plus?
No, it wasn't a 50 plus. No, there was.
Hey. Well, welcome to the show. All right, Thomas, it was good having you.
Look, the great and the good is watching again. Simo, yeah. I went for my road worker shirt. It looks even better from behind because it's all yellow at the back, not just half. Anthony Simonson, Thomas, I noticed a patch on your jacket. What could that be? There we go.
There it is.
Welcome to the family.
I saw a shot. It was cool watching your bow hook.
It's been a good couple first weeks with Storm. So first 300 already, and that's off to a good start.
Yeah, you used what I would call a Storm transition ball. The physics is one of the least storm balls. So I wasn't particularly surprised that you were using it. It's one of the smoother balls. And I know that you really kind of like that. Kind of like seeing that shape. So yeah, Prodigy was also a fun one that a lot of people used to really like when they made the move over. That was another super smooth one.
I haven't been able to find one of those yet.
No, you need to be in the know, in the club. So you've been selected on the Brooklyn Styles, often referred to as Frankenstein's project. It's a interesting group of guys. This year you've got Walter Ray, Rhino Page, Brad, and BJ Moore. And then yourself. Couple of things that have been brought to our attention. You're the only team where every player on the team has a title. So that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. I actually didn't know that. But...
And I feel like you're one of the people who's best placed to be on this team because, well, to put it frankly, you might be Brad's only friend. Talk to us a little bit about the relationship between you and Brad.
Well, it started probably like 5 or 6 years ago when we were overseas, and both of us was looking for someone to stay with, to share a hotel room with, and just worked out. And he's actually a pretty nice guy when he's not bowling. So
yeah, Brad's a good guy. He's just Brad.
Yeah.
So you're saying it was a marriage of convenience?
Pretty much, yeah, to start with, but I think we share a lot of the same interests, and we're both pretty easy to room with, so it just worked out. Brad likes driving everywhere, and I would rather not drive and just sit in the passenger seat and sleep. So that's a pretty good.
Exactly the same relationship with PA. The way you're describing this, though, you do sound a lot like an old guy describing his mail order bride. Well, it started off and it was quite good, and we found that we had a lot in common. Turns out we actually like each other's company.
I wouldn't go that far.
Anyway, let's move on to the more pressing matters. Your team's ranked 12 in the power rankings. Jeff Goodyear, what do you have to say to him?
Well, we're ranked below the two women team and everyone else, so, well, what there's to say, we can only surprise, and yeah, maybe we suck, maybe we don't.
So Thomas's response to Jeff Goodger is, maybe you're right.
No, I think we have a pretty good team, and it's a new bowling center this time. So honestly, if the lanes play a little bit different than Portland, well, we could be one of the top teams all of a sudden. So
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
Definitely. So if in a perfect world for me, you would use this as kind of like a warm up for the Weber Cup. You know, kind of just get used to the team bowl and get in your rhythm. Excited about the Weber Cup. Obviously a bit different this year, but still, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's of course it would be nice if everything was normal and there were fans and everything, but just to be able to be on the team and get the experience is something special. So, and I get to bowl with you. I've never bowled with you before, only against you.
Yeah, and usually you come out on top, so especially in team bowling.
Yeah, so I'll have to carry you a little bit probably, but
hey, I'm not proud. Hopefully you don't experience kind of Chris on the first night. He's kind of chirpy. His average is usually pretty high that first night. Had the odd 300 first day. We tend to have to ride out that first night. Chris gets a little tired after the first night.
Well, he's on the older side now, so that's understandable.
Yeah, and we don't have Martin to even it out.
Man, this is so much fun. This is great.
Oh, here we go. Rob Piroshed. Here he is. He's trying to find. He's on to. They've actually been very kind to us, picking up our preview shows. Rob is from Sweep the Rack. He's a big friend. He says that has to bother you. I'd want to shove that rank in you know where.
Well, it's I can't really say anything about it. It's based on the other years, and I wasn't on the team, so from my point of view, the team got a pretty big upgrade with me being on there. So I think we should be at least 4 or 5 or 7 spots higher.
So now you're sounding just like the NFL #1 draft pick when the quarterback goes to the team who went 2-14 the previous year. It's all good. I'm here now. We're safe. I like it, Thomas. I like it. So your two PBA titles were both in the Middle East. Is that correct?
Yep.
And they both paid quite well.
Yeah.
Now the second one you beat Dom, right, in Kuwait.
Yeah, that was in Kuwait. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd actually completely forgot about that because I came third in that event. I looked it up. I made that stat ladder as well. Talk us through your first title though, because you beat Mika, right?
Yeah, I beat. That was in Abu Dhabi the year before, and I was the #1 seed going into the finals, and Mika won the semifinal and then bowled me, and I believe Mika shot 280 against me the first game, but the rule was that you had to be beat twice as the #1 seed, and then I think I bowled like 250 or 260 against him in the second game, and he shot 210 or 220, so worked out.
So one little rumor that we did hear about it was that somebody in that match asked for a chop, and somebody who tended to win said that they did not want to chop. Is that a correct assumption from that match?
That might have happened, and we might have roomed together the next week, where someone wasn't very happy.
Thomas, I like you more every day. It's so awesome.
Mika shoots 280 at you. No, I still don't want to chop. There's 260. Thanks. Thanks for playing.
Hey, you get the room next week, would you? Yeah.
Oh dear. I like it, Thomas. Very nice. So, with all of the things going on, what is your what are some of the things that you've had to try to figure out to be able to get over for the PBA League?
It's been both the PBA League and the Weber Cup has been really weird. Like, I think I printed out about 8 pages of conversations with Tom Clark, just figuring out how to get a waiver so we're actually allowed to travel into the country and all kind of stuff. It's difficult traveling right now, and especially with all the restrictions being updated like every week or every 2 weeks. We never really know what's going on. I think it ended up, well, I haven't left yet, but what it ended up with is that we're allowed to travel to the States. And then when I get back home, I have to get a COVID test, but I'm not mandated to do any quarantine, which is good because then I'll be able to go to the Weber Cup too.
Yeah,
but it's just I think I've called our foreign ministry like 15 times trying to figure out if I had to do quarantine, if I didn't have to do quarantine, what would happen if this happens or whatever. And yeah, it's a headache.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's definitely strange, that's for sure. One of our friends is a bowler, Warren Eels, a PBA 50 champion, in fact. Warren's been very instrumental in helping everybody. He is the port director in Vegas, so he's a good guy to know. He can help you or he can end you, literally. Yeah, I mean, I chatted with him last week for me going to the Weber Cup, and he was just like, "Oh no, dude, you're the last person in this whole scenario who needs to worry about anything." He goes, "You have been able to travel to England and back the entire time because I have a green card and I have a British passport, so I'm good at both ends. It's just whatever quarantine situation I would have had to done." So he definitely made me chilled out and relaxed about everything. He goes, "Now Tina, on the other hand, no, she'd be screwed if she flew to England." So, yeah, that's definitely been it's definitely been something that we're not used to worrying about, especially carrying like European and American passports between us. It's like usually I mean, we can pretty much go anywhere in the world without having to worry about it. And now suddenly it's like, oh, you need this and you need this. And people don't realize how stressful it is to travel at that point.
No, and also I think when all of this started, the fear was kind of that you got sick and you got it bad. At this point, I'm not really too worried about getting sick. I'm worried about all the consequences of getting sick. Like, you can get a sniffle and a positive test, and then you have to do quarantine for a month or whatever. So it's just it's a hassle having to go through all of that.
Yes, definitely. Any questions, Chris?
No, I did. There was something that came up. Marcin said about time that Thomas was picked for Team Europe in the Weber Cup. And since Stu's been making all those picks all these years, obviously, I mean, here's your chance to basically just blame Stu for not getting the bowl.
Blame me. I've got thick skin.
Well, I shot 300 against Stu, keeping him from getting a medal back in 2012 or something at the European Championship. So I'm sure that's where it all comes from.
Holding a grudge.
Kelly Green. Sounds like Stu is just trying to get away to Europe without you and Brady, Tina. Well, Brady could come with me. He's got no problem. And my mum and dad were actually very much encouraging that. Just bring Brady with you. We'll just bring him back when we can come. So yeah, they were talking about Brady having an impromptu couple of week vacation / months. Don't think Tina would be good with it. My mom's like, if you bring Brady into the country, Tina can't come and get him back.
Quick question. Do family members get to come to the league? No, they do not. No spectators, no family members, no guests whatsoever. League players and managers only. And when we're not bowling, we're not allowed in the center. So,
quick fun one here, Chris. I bowl league on tonight, in fact, with Nathan and Maria. And Maria's trying to encourage Nathan to come. And Nathan's like, but I can't come in. And Maria's like, so? She's like, just hang out at the hotel. We've got plenty of free time. I can go and play golf. Poor Nathan. Well, I think that's all I've got for you, Thomas. I mean, I guess the one last question I have is, do you feel like any pressure currently about, your status as Denmark's best bowler with Carsten making both the 2 cuts at the World Series?
Well, Carsten's been bowling good for a long time, but we actually we had our Danish league championships this weekend, and our team beat his team. So I think everything's back in place again.
So what you're saying is you slapped him round like a little. I'm not allowed to say because Chris's mom's watching.
It was a good weekend. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. All right.
Where would you have ranked your team?
Our league team?
Yeah.
Based on the other years and what we could expect this year, probably just under the middle, like 8th, probably. I think we're the underdogs, but I don't think we're the worst team there. So I just have to prove that.
I mean, trust me, the PBA League could be renamed. Anything could happen. Look, he's watching. And he's got a Storm logo. Denmark's being taken over by Storm.
Kirsten. All right. Well, Thomas, thanks for joining us this morning. We will see you in a very short few days and a lot of miles later.
Yep.
Safe travels, my friend, and we'll see you Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take care,
thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, for sure. See you soon. Take it easy.
With no further ado, we'll move on to our next guest. And as well, the common theme is extensive team experience, which has been rife throughout the league. But she has 2 golds and 9 medals overall in 1 year on Junior Team USA and 3 times on the Adult Team USA. She bowled for the collegiate powerhouse, Nebraska, when they were national champions twice while she was there. And she was 3-time first-team All-American, including the 2015 and Nebraska Female Athlete of the Year, 2-time PBW and national record holder for series at 890 from, is it the Miami Waves?
Yes, sir.
Liz Kuhlkin.
Hey
Hello.
guys.
So I'm a little bit intimidated by this. I'm not used to being the best league bowler. I'm not used to not being the best league bowler on the show. But you're in a place of respect here. You have the high set. I was getting excited about my performance last night, but you slapped me around with that as well. I saw that you shot 300 last night, so congrats on that.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know about Chris, but I'm pro league bowling, so I'm all about it. So
I am. I like it. I get to bowl with my dad. That was the biggest thing. I always watched him bowl adult league, and I promised him when I turned adult that I would bowl with him. And I bowl 2 leagues now, so I have a good time with it. I live in an area where bowling is very popular. There's a lot of great bowlers, and honestly, I feel like it keeps the competitive juice is flowing, honestly. So I like it.
Yeah, I'm sure that that the side action probably isn't great for you when you turn up, being us. So you had the 890, but remind me, that wasn't the set where you really had the most exciting thing going on.
No, I mean the 890. I knew I couldn't bowl 900 because I stoned 8 the first shot, the third game, which I laughed because I was feeling so good that night. When I stoned that 8, I turned to my dad and said, "That just cost me 900." And he looked at me like, "Okay, still got to throw 11 shots, Liz." But the most exciting night I've had in league was the 879. Actually, I bowled a couple months later. I had the front 33, so I actually had a chance at 900 at that point, and I was so nervous that I threw about like 100 miles per hour on my 10th shot and 2 pins. So it happens.
So there you go, Chris. A 34 strike night and a 35 strike night.
I thought maybe we were improving a little bit, but I'm just in the starter kit, I guess. So
it was a good night. I had a couple good nights there. A couple good nights.
I'm not saying you were confident, but didn't you like film like the last 3 or like from the 7th frame on of that?
I did. And I got the first time I did it with the 890, I was really grateful because I had a ton of views with that. It was pretty cool to hear from people, hey, me and my family were watching on our couch in our living room and we were rooting for you. When I bowled 870 and I didn't get it, I got a lot more hate because people were like, listen, you're not paying attention. You're trying to film on your phone. You know, I had a little bit more hate with that, which I can get both sides. I just thought it was a good opportunity to kind of experience history, I guess you could say. I really wanted that to happen, but it's all right. Gave it my best.
If you're not getting shade thrown at you, you're not doing anything right, I don't think.
You're absolutely right, Chris. I've learned that more and more as my career has gone forward.
So we were just talking to Thomas about how his team are experiencing some disrespect, shall we say. Now, I feel like your team is also, and I might be one of the chief protagonists of it. I've said more than once that I thought that the other team, the other ladies' team, was stronger. Now, here we go. I actually researched it, and I had some fun things for you. So the other team, obviously, is more experienced. That's a given. But here's a cool stat, Chris. The Miami Waves are the only team in the PBA League where every player has a major.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool.
I did not think about that. That is true, though.
So stick that one in your pipe and smoke it, Williams.
Keep that in my back pocket.
So, yeah, and I believe that 4 of the 5 have international gold medals. So that's pretty good. I mean, Dasher might do, but it's it would be a junior one, and I don't count those.
Understandable.
So, you know,
list off the rest of your team list for those who don't know who's on your team. And
we have Dasha Kovalova, Claire Guerrero, Missy Parkin, Danielle McEwen, and myself. So as Stu said, that is a lot of team international experience right there. A lot of people have been saying the biggest thing is, I actually saw a tweet yesterday by our next guest, Brad Miller. I'm going to throw some shade at him real quick. I really like Brad, so it's nothing about that. But he had mentioned that how can you rate these ladies higher than the teams that have actually bowled together? I understand that. I understand where he's coming from with that. But he also has to remember that most of us actually have bowled together, whether it's Team USA, Team Brunswick. You know, I've bowled with Dasha and different team events there. So we all have team experience together. And I think that's something that is going to help us a lot in this event. And I have a feeling a lot of people have kind of forgot about that a little bit.
I just want to clarify what Brad said.
Yes, I think that's right.
Right here. I get they're good, but I don't know how you put them ahead of the previous 3 teams. Two things from that. There was actually 4 teams below you, so he was discounting the Brooklyn Styles too. And that doesn't sound to me like he was using the excuse that about bowling together. He just thought they were better. So,
I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I know. I just felt like I should continue, maybe back over him and then go forward again. So, Brad, they're calling you out.
A little bit. I mean, I like that. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm a competitive player. I get into it. I like seeing that kind of stuff because then it encourages you to go out and kind of like Thomas was saying, proving people wrong, kind of proving that we belong there, kind of thing.
Oh, that's a disappointment. Your team is in our division. You're not in Brad's division.
No.
There you go.
That would have been good. I should have figured that out.
To Neil bringing it from the top rope. There you go.
Dasha did win a gold medal at the World Games.
There we go. So, you all have a gold medal as well. Doesn't mean I'm going to be nice to you.
That's cool. That's cool.
I believe the phrase is, I'm an equal opportunity asshole. I don't prejudice. So I actually had a couple of other things to ask you. Bob Learn as the coach. Do you have any past experience with Bob, like a relationship at all, or have you been kind of building it since the draft?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I've known of Bob Learn because he's from Erie, Pennsylvania originally. So we have some Northeast connection there. And I've obviously watched him and heard of him and talked to him a little bit, but always in passing. So not too much experience there. But we've chatted a lot in recent weeks, done some Zoom calls. It really helps that he's on Brunswick staff as well. So we've talked a lot about equipment and stuff like that. And he's obviously has a ton of coaching experience. I have a lot of respect for him. I'm looking really forward to working with him.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I would say that Bob was kind of it was kind of a unique pick. I guess from the outside, we as the PBA players, we were kind of expecting another female player to have been picked to manage the team, I guess. So overall, do you have? I mean, you've obviously bowled on the national team with both Missy and Danielle. I believe did you and Missy win the trios together?
We did.
Yeah. I thought. See, Chris, I'm on the ball. It was an event that I don't even get to play, and I knew that happened. So I guess that'll give you some level of comfort then, knowing that you've already been like kind of in the trenches with Missy before.
Definitely, yeah. I've bowled with Danielle and Missy on Team USA. Obviously, Danielle and I bowled together in trios, but we bowled together in team events. And also, even though Claire and I haven't bowled on the same team, you know, I've seen her compete, and I know she wants to win just as much as I do. So there's that too. And same with Dasha. I mean, we're very familiar with each other. We pretty much have team chemistry already, so I think it gives us a little bit of an advantage.
Talking from experience, because I won a doubles tournament with Clara. I love Clara's energy and how much she swears like a sailor. So
yeah.
That's definitely something to watch out for. It's definitely entertaining. So overall, what have you been up to with the PWBA being out of action?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, New York was one of the last states here to allow bowling. So it was pretty tough for a while there, watching different states, especially in the South, like Texas, Florida, a lot of different states that have been having tournaments for like weeks now, months, I would say, actually. And it was a little discouraging not being able to be out there and bowl. And on top of that, New York also has a travel restriction list, which unfortunately Virginia is on as well, which basically means if you go there, when you come back, you got to quarantine for 2 weeks, which is obviously very inconvenient. But other than that, I started league bowling obviously last night, and I've been bowling more now that the bowling alleys are open here, and just preparing for this event because I really feel like I had to play catch up a little bit because I literally bowled like 3-4 times in 6 months. So I certainly didn't want to go on national television and embarrass myself or anything. So
yeah, I mean Danielle was kind of in a similar boat to you. I know from experience that Clara's been practicing quite a bit. Clara actually lives 5 minutes from me, so ironically enough, I never see her, but I do see her on Instagram at the bowling center a lot.
So Stu, do you live in Texas now? I thought you lived in Arizona. I must have totally missed that.
I live in Felugaville now. Austin.
Oh.
So yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, thankfully, because we've actually been able to bowl the whole time, basically.
We have a suggestion for the first trade of the league season this year, and it's CDB for Bob Learn and a manager trade. So,
yeah, let's go. I mean, might make sense. Although I don't think Billie Jean King would be too happy.
Yeah, maybe not.
Rob Pierce said, someone with the nickname Beef has to live in Texas.
Huh.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah, it's very fitting.
All right, Liz. Well, thanks for taking time out of your lunch break to come on. We really appreciate it.
Sorry about that. I didn't have the greatest setup here. I'm like in my car, so sorry about that. Everything went well with it.
No, it went perfect. It was very authentic, and it just shows the things that us bowlers have to do to get by at the minute. So, like I say, we really appreciate you. Everybody look out for Liz and her team. Liz will be the one on her team who's probably about 3 hours left of everybody else hooking the crap out of it.
I was about to say, I'm kind of a black sheep on my team with that. It's funny, we've had a couple Zoom meetings, and we're talking about we're gonna stay right of the guys, gotta stay right of the guys, and that is gonna be the thing. But I'm thinking to myself, Bob, I don't know if you realize this, but I'm not playing where any of these ladies are, so we're gonna have to drill some 2-inch pins or something. So, but I'll be just fine. But I thought that was funny.
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate watching the things that you can do with the ball. A U.S. Open champion. So there you go. I mean, I think your resume speaks for itself. Kelly, referring to when I was on Belmo's show from my car. I had some other issues because I had to keep turning the air on and off. Because if I had the air on too high, then it interfered with the sound because I didn't bring any headphones. I wasn't as organized as you. Yeah. Belmo was thrilled with me at that point.
Thankfully, it's 60 degrees in upstate New York right now, so I'm okay sitting in the car with it off. Thankfully.
Yeah, it was like 102 in San Antonio when I was trying to do it. So didn't work out so good for me. So, all right, Liz. Well, take care of yourself. We'll see you up on Friday in Virginia.
Sounds great. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for making the time. Bye-bye.
Take care.